what's happening YouTube? This is Runner from BellatorGero.com. Not arrogant, just better. Just going to give my pre-fight predictions on UFC 137, Penn versus Diaz. This fight will probably be my main event on this card because you know how GSP's fights always go. He usually gets knocked out or he wrestles the crap out of someone. And anywho, yeah, it looks like a pretty good, not a great fight card, but a good one top to bottom. I'm only going to pick out a few of the fights, or maybe 5 or 6 of the fights, which I think people want to know about. And first of all, I'm going to start in the... We have Elliot Marshall versus Brandon the Truth Vera. Yeah, leading up to this fight, Brandon Vera, obviously he got cut and then got reinstated after Thiago Silva was banned for steroids. Elliot Marshall is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He's got his own school. He's pretty good. His striking isn't that great. Basically, this is a striker versus grappler fight, and what needs to happen is Elliot Marshall needs to get this fight to the ground. But I think that with the kicks that Brandon Vera throws and how he kicks people in the midsection, in the legs, that's going to be the deciding factor in this fight. And I think Brandon Vera is going to be able to kick the crap out of Elliot Marshall and win this fight via second round TKO and show that he's back and he can fight with the best in the UFC, because the people that he was fighting in the UFC just before he got cut, he's fighting guys at a top, well, John Jones, best in the world pretty much at 205. Then you've got Randy Couture, which I think he won that fight, and then Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva's a fucking beast. He's like 230 pounds and he walks around. He's a meathead, and when he fights in the cage, he'll be like 220 plus. You know what I mean? So the fat guys that he's fought, where he's got cut, he's been fighting the best in the world. And I'm gonna stop going on. I'm gonna go with Brandon Vera winning this fight via second round TKO, and he's gonna fight someone else. If I was him, I'd take some bum fights. You know what I mean? Like, not the greatest fighters in the world, but take some half decent fights. Maybe not Stephen. Well, not even a bum fight, but Stephen Bonner would be a great fight between them two, because Bonner likes to stand and bang, and Vera's got some great striking. So, anyways, yeah, Brandon Vera gonna win this fight by a second round TKO. Next bout is in the lightweight division. We have Dennis Siver versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. This fight is very interesting because I like Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone is a great fighter. He's got great striking, he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's the typical all-around, well-rounded fighter. And Dennis Siver, he's a big guy for 155. Always when he steps up to people, I always think he's going to be quite a bit shorter than him. But I don't know, he just seems to be a short, stocky dude, and I don't know how he makes 155. He's like he's like a Melvin Goulart. I don't know how he makes 155, and I think after this fight, maybe he should fight Melvin Goulart, and I think it'd be really interesting because it's just two meatheads. You'd be like, oh, these are 155ers, and you'd be like, are you sure? But anyways, back to this fight. Dennis Siver, good fighter. He lost his last fight against Wyman in my eyes, and I'm going to give him this fight because I think he's going to have the better ground game than Dennis Siver. I think he's going to have the better striking, but I think Siver's going to pack the most power in his punches. But Donald Cerrone is no slouch at all, and in this fight, I'm going to say that Donald Cerrone is going to land a good couple strikes, maybe rock Dennis Siver, then take him down, submit him, and that's it, done dust in the first round. And no, I won't go first round, I'll go third round, because Donald Cerrone takes a little bit of a while to get going in his fight, so I'm going to say second or third round. Yeah. TKO, no, submission for Donald Cerrone. And moving on to the heavyweight division, we have Cro Cop versus Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson, basically, whoever loses this fight is getting cut from the UFC, shit bust. I think it's time that Cro Cop retires, to be honest. He's not as good as he used to be. He should have stuck with K1 and fought fights like Bob Sapp and stuff like that, like he used to do back in the days. But anyways, I I think Cro Cop's going to be the better striker all around, but Roy Nelson packs that big right hand, and the overhand right knocks out people, and he knocks them out for fun. And with Roy Nelson, how he fights, he can get hit, and he's got a great chin, but he can cover himself up. He puts his arms up, gets a bit of solid defence in, like when he was fighting Dos Santos when he was throwing his punches. He was, connecting sometimes, but most of the time we've seen elbows, forearms. Roy Nelson knows how to protect himself. I know it didn't show that well in the Frank Mir fight when he took to the ground, but hopefully Roy Nelson should come in a little bit trimmer, and I don't see no reason why Roy Nelson can't get Cro Cop into a crucifix position and punch his face in until the ref stops it, and that's how I'm going to go in this fight. I think Cro Cop's going to get finished probably first or second round, TKO by a crucifix position from Roy Nelson. He's going to lay his big body on top of Cro Cop. Cro Cop's not going to know what to do, because even though he may have been training jiu-jitsu for 10 years or whatever, striking is his bread and butter, and that's all he likes to do. He likes to stand and bang, and when you've seen him on the ground, he hasn't been great. And I'm going to go with Roy Nelson via second round TKO, crucifix position. Boom, that's it. And moving on to the co-main event, we have Keich Congo versus Matt Mitrone. Matt Mitrone, since he left the Ultimate Fighter, he has really impressed me. His first fight against Marcus Jones, he looked really shit, and I was like, Jones is going to smash him in this fight. But he caught him with a big right hand, and, or was it left? Well, either way, he caught him on his chin, put him to sleep basically. But that's only because Marcus Jones does not know how to have a guard. He's like a fucking zombie, you know what I mean? So, but Matt Mitrone has came on leaps and bounds since that fight. I'd say he's almost top 10 in the heavyweight division in the UFC. I won't say he's far off. I'd say after this fight, win or lose, he should fight Travis Brown maybe, because them two are roughly around the same sort of level on rankings. Anyways, Keich Congo, what do I say about Keich Congo? In his last fight against Pat Barry, he got well, not got lucky, but if Pat Barry had kept his head a little bit and well, he went for the kill, and I would have probably done the same as well. But he got caught on the way in. I don't break Keich Congo. I think he's one of them nearly men, and he's never going to be breaking into that top 10, or not top 7, top 8 probably, because if you watch him against Cain Velasquez just fucking whooped his ass for so many rounds, and Frank Mir choked his ass out, and then he fought Bontello, and then he fought Travis Brown and some of these other fighters, and you're like, well, he's not really doing anything. And the Pat Barry fight, Pat Barry was all over him, he swarmed him. Pat Barry's like only 5'10", 5'11". Keich Congo's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's built like a brick shit house. But the overhand right that Pat Barry throws is fucking immense. But obviously, I think there's going to be some bad blood between Matt Mitrone and Keich Congo in the weigh-ins, because Pat Barry is Mitrone's one of his friends, and me personally, if my friend had got beat up and I was a fighter like that, I'd want to go smash him as well. But yeah, I don't rate Keich Congo at all. He might have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but he seems like a wet frog on his back basically when he's on his. I just don't rate his ground game at all. So looking at his fight, I think Matt Mitrone's going to outstrike him. He's just going to have that longer reach, because Matt Mitrone's got the freakish longest arms. He weighs 260. He's going to be heavier. He's just, I don't know, his agility, his kicks, maybe not going to be better than Congo in kicks department, but Keich Congo's a bit hesitant to throw his punches, and I'm going to go with Matt Mitrone in this fight. I'm going to say he's going to get it TKO, first round. No, second round. We'll go second round, because Keich Congo will get back to his corner. He'll be like, oh, I don't want to be in this fight anymore, and he's going to give up. And you're going to see Matt Mitrone win this fight and step up the ladder that little bit further, because I do rate him, and he's came a long way since he was in the Ultimate Fighter, and he's probably one of the best that came out of him. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Second round TKO, Matt Mitrone. And moving on to the main event, we have BJ Penn versus Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a great welterweight. BJ Penn, welterweight's not his natural weight class. Right, in the last few fights, I've gone against BJ Penn every time. Matt Hughes fight, I went against BJ Penn. The John Finch fight, I went against BJ Penn. And all these fights that I've been predicting, I've always been going against BJ Penn. And I do like BJ Penn, but I think Nate Diaz has got too much in his arsenal to... he's going to have the longer reach. He's about 6'1". BJ Penn's about 5'9". The Jiu-Jitsu department... BJ Penn is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, but for some reason I just think Diaz is a pure Jiu-Jitsu. I know BJ Penn is pure Jiu-Jitsu as well, but how slick and how much Diaz is good off his back or on top and with his submissions, I think BJ Penn was going to be in a little bit of trouble. And I don't want this to be the last fight for BJ Penn, and I hope that I'm wrong. But the way that Diaz throws punches to the body, which everybody knows, he's got good boxing. Even though he looks scrappy, he's got good boxing, and his shots always do land. Yeah, I think BJ Penn's going to be in a lot of trouble in this fight, and I don't want it to be that way because I like BJ Penn. Good fighter. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He is a legend in the UFC and MMA in general. But I just don't think he's fought anyone who's got the same range, who's got this as good boxing, because you don't see BJ Penn throwing many kicks and stuff like that. It's just going to be a bit of straight up boxing match between these two guys, and if it goes to the ground, BJ has got great flexibility and he's got a good takedown defense, but I think all around Diaz is just the better fighter. He's going to weigh a lot more. BJ Penn's going to weigh about 168 on weighing day, and he won't put on much weight from that because that's BJ Penn getting up to that weight. But you do see when BJ Penn's like pre-fights or between fights, he gets really, really fat. But yeah, I'm going to go with Nate Diaz in this fight. Diaz is going to win. I'd say if he finishes BJ Penn, he's going to be knocking on the door of GSP or Carlos Condit, whoever's up next, because he does deserve that title shot, and he just needs to sort his act out, Diaz, because he could be the welterweight champion at one point, but I think if he wins this fight, he might have to just fight someone else, like maybe I don't know, some sort of beast, like maybe a John Finch or a Ellenberger maybe. Who knows? But yeah, Diaz is going to win this fight, I think, and I don't want it to be BJ's last fight because after the John Finch fight, he didn't. I don't think he was like, well, what's left for me really? You know what I mean? Because I don't think he's going to get another title shot against GSP, and that's just how I think it's going to go. But we'll see. Anyways. Yeah, just before I go, make sure that you post a comment below, post your predictions, let me know what you think. Put a thumbs up or thumbs down on what you think is going to happen. I'm going to probably put in the corners again, here and here, for who you want to win between BJ Penn and John Finch. Not John Finch. BJ Penn and Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, give me a thumbs down. BJ Penn, give me a thumbs up if you think that BJ Penn's going to win. Yeah, that's it really. So make sure you subscribe. Check us out at bellatalkhero.com. And this is Runner signing out for my UFC predictions 137. Peace.